All right. So I just sat down to make this video, and I can't help but realize how much I look like Ash Ketchum from Pokemon. My name is Philip Paul. I want to share with you a vision that I had the other night in prayer waiting on the Lord. And this is going to be good information for anyone that wants to see in the Spirit or tap in the Spirit, but doesn't actually have a relationship with Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit. And why I would just raise a little flag and say, don't do that. And so here we go. I'm going to share with you this vision. Let me just pray real quick. Jesus, I ask that you would just conquer the atmosphere over everyone that's listening, that you would just place a Holy Spirit seed in their lives that would grow into something great for your kingdom, and that you would just bring the right clarity and the right information to those who need to hear this in Jesus' mighty name. So let me share with you this vision that I had. It's very quick. I'll share with you the word of knowledge, give a little bit more information about it, and then you can carry on your day and go watch another video. So this vision has to do with somebody that's in my friends and family circles. Now, this person is not a Christian. They're rather agnostic or atheist, but it's also applicable to anyone that would fall into that type of a category. So he is in this vision, he's on a yellow school bus. So like an empty yellow school bus, which signifies to me that he is on his way to learning something. And while he is on this bus, there's a wall that appears besides him, and he's trying to make a hole and a portal through it in order to be able to see into the other side, to see into the spiritual realm. So I'm given this interpretation that he is trying to tap into the Spirit and see into the Spirit. And I'm also given this information that, like, I know he's not a Christian, and so I know the means by which he's trying to do this are not correct or the way that it should be done. And I heard this word of knowledge. Many things you are good at, this is not one of them. Many things you are good at, this is not one of them. So this is a word, it's a complimentative, stern, direct word of correction that carries a compliment. Like, you're really talented at a lot of things in life, but seeing into the Spirit is not one of them. Now, I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why. I'm going to share with you some of the dangers of seeing into the Spirit apart from Holy Spirit. And I'm going to share with you just how it can actually screw up your life completely if you are, partaking in the spiritual realm, which is more real than this earthly realm that we live in with our five senses, if you're doing that without Jesus Christ and Holy Spirit as your guide. C.S. Lewis has a fantastic quote that goes something like this. You are not a human being that occasionally has spiritual experiences. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. I'll say it again. You are not a human being that occasionally has spiritual experiences. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. The spiritual world is way more real than this physical world that we live in with our five senses. It's way more congruent with actually who you are, a spirit. God is spirit. He's given us spirit. We have the Holy Spirit as well. But here are some things that you probably have previously experienced in dreams and in the night, and I want to share some of them with you. I'm sure that you've encountered some of these along the way. There are shapeshifters. These can come into your dreams and take on the disguise of someone that you know. So you're not actually encountering the real person, but rather it's a demonic spirit. It's a shapeshifter in the form, convincing you that it is this person. Okay, some demonic forces, these spirits can serve you something in your dreams. They can give you food or drink, and if you consume it, it could lead to bodily sickness and illness. It can also lead to spiritual sickness and illness. And if you are the head of your family, it's all the more important to be living a life that's on the straight and narrow, because you kind of carry the umbrella over the whole household. If you are in compromise or broken, this can actually lead to kind of spiritual pollution over the whole family. There are spies. There's like a demonic network, an information network, where sometimes in these dreams, because of windows or doors that have been opened through compromise and sin, they can actually enter in and either influence your dreams, but also some of them are just there to gather information about you, how they can further influence you, get a foothold on you. They learn about your strengths and weaknesses, what areas of the flesh you engage in too much that you shouldn't. And also sometimes just gather information on how they can further kill, steal, and destroy and harm your life. But also sometimes if they realize that they can gain a foothold, demonic spirits will actually use you to help build the empire of darkness. So there's familiar spirits. There are things like demonic possession, and sometimes your dreams, demonic spirits can actually they can influence your thinking the next day. You ever wake up and you're just like off for the day and you have like bad thinking, your mind's not on right? Sometimes that is because of things that have happened in your dreams and visions and doors or windows that have been opened because of compromise in your life. There are spirits that will mate with you in your sleep, okay? Similar to shapeshifters. They take on the form of someone attractive, maybe somebody that you used to know or just somebody that's attractive. But if they can mate with you, that is another form of possession over your life. It can lead to disruption in your marriage. It can be an attempt to break your covenant. It can be an attempt to lead to dissatisfaction in your marriage. It leads to further possession, and ultimately it's another stronghold. It's another wedge used to break your covenant, and God's intentions for you to be a pure and spotless bride for a man or a woman. A little side note, not all of these things are limited to just being asleep. Have you ever noticed if you carry around with you unforgiveness towards somebody? Let's say a couple weeks ago, something happened with somebody, or let's just say in the past you've had a rough history with somebody and you just have bitterness and unforgiveness. In my opinion, in my experience, sometimes that operates almost like an antenna that draws spirits of torment over your life. And next thing you know, you're imagining having an argument with somebody that you really don't actually know them and you haven't talked to them in a long time, but your day gets ruined, your work drops in quality, you're no longer like positive and optimistic, but you're negative and pessimistic. And all of that is because unforgiveness in some ways draws the attention and gives an opening for like tormenting spirits to kind of erode peace in somebody's life. So these are all just some of the things that do happen in the spiritual realm. Everything from shapeshifters to being served food that you shouldn't eat, to mating, to all of that stuff. Before I carry on, I do want to just point out something. If you are living a prayer and fasted life, you're walking on the straight and narrow, God can and will use people in your dreams. He will have people in the scenes and in the dreams that he's giving you. So just because somebody is in your dream doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, okay? Have discernment. This is why it's really important to have discernment and to grow up in your walk with Christ, and importantly, to just not have any strongholds for the enemy. Imagine that you are leaving an airport and you're going to get into a taxi. But first, you have the ability to look at all of the different taxi drivers and decide which of the cars you want to get into. You look at one driver and he has an aggressive spirit. Another one has an abusive spirit. Another taxi driver has an intoxicated spirit. And another one, a lying spirit. Another one has a tormenting spirit. You don't want to be in any of those cars. You do not want that to be your driver. But you get to one car, and the driver of it has a Holy Spirit. That's the vehicle that you want to be in. He is called Holy Spirit because he's holy. He's not any of these other spirits. He is Holy Spirit. He is the Spirit of God, and he has the character traits, the attributes of God, which are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, a sound mind. These are all the attributes of God, and these are all available to us when you come into a relationship with Jesus Christ. When you say, God, I'm sorry for my sins and my mistakes. You paid for my debt on my behalf, and you enter into a relationship with him. In his day and age, a man and a woman, when they agreed to be in a relationship and a marriage, the male would leave an expensive gift as a down payment, a promise that he would return for her. That is Holy Spirit. That is the gift that we are given. Your body is a temple for Holy Spirit. It's like saying your body is an Iron Man suit that Holy Spirit gets to go in and do awesome things for the kingdom of heaven throughout this earth. And some of that actually includes having spiritual experiences where he is your guide and he is your light. Now, I need to read to you this Bible verse to kind of just nail everything home. It talks about improper access ways and improper gateways. This is from John 10. Very truly, I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate but climbs in some other way is a thief and a robber. The one who enters the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name, and he leads them out. When he has brought them all out, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not know or recognize the stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees didn't understand what he was telling them. Therefore, Jesus said again, very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in, they will go out, they will find pasture. The thief comes to only kill, steal, and destroy. I have come that they might have life and have it to the full. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The wolf attacks the flock and scatters it. So seeing in the Spirit apart from Holy Spirit, apart from having a relationship with Jesus Christ, is not going to lead you down the right path. You want to be on the straight and narrow path. You want to be on the path that is paved by Christ. You want to be led by the Good Shepherd. You want to be led by that down payment, that gift of the Holy Spirit, a promise that Christ shall return for his bride. That's what Holy Spirit is. It's an expensive gift, a promise that he will come back for you. And through this same Spirit that resurrected Jesus from the dead, that operated within him, through the same Spirit, we shall do greater things that even Christ did. So if you don't know Christ, it's as simple as saying, Jesus, please reveal yourself to me. I'm a broken human being. I've made a lot of mistakes. I ask for your forgiveness, and I pray that I would have a relationship with you and that I would receive your Holy Spirit. That is the door that you want to walk through in the spiritual world. If this has been beneficial to you, feel free to like it, subscribe, share this with somebody, check out the links or description below, all that great stuff. And now I'm going to go change because I don't want to look like Ash Ketchum all day. So have a nice day. We'll see you in the next video.